Hello and welcome to another episode of World of Guns Gun Disassembly. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Winchester Model 1895 rifle. The Winchester Model 1895 is an American lever-action repeating firearm developed and manufactured by the Winchester Repeating Arms Company in the late 19th century. Chambered for a number of full-size military and hunting cartridges such as the 7.62 x 54mm Russian, 303 British, 30-06, 35 Winchester, and the 405 Winchester. The first Model 1895 was the first Winchester rifle to feature a box magazine that is located underneath the action instead of the tubular magazine designs, which had remained fundamentally unchanged from the Winchester 1866. This allowed the rifle to safely chamber military and hunting cartridges with Spitzer pointed bullets. The Model 1895 was also the last of the lever-action rifles to be designed by John Browning, and featured a rear locking bolt as in his previous designs dating back to the Winchester 1886. The Model 1895 is the strongest lever-action rifle Winchester has ever produced, designed to handle an increased pressure generated by the more powerful smokeless powder cartridges entering common use at the time of its introduction. By today's standards, however, the design is considered relatively weak and not suited to high-pressure loads. Around serial number 5000, a new receiver profile was introduced, which had a fluted, scalloped side as opposed to the original flat-sided design. This new receiver reduced the weight of the rifle by a small amount and increased the width by 1/16 of an inch. Serial number 6000, it is thought that the last of the flat-sided Model 1895s had left the factory. These early rifles are now exceedingly rare. Between 1915 and 1917, approximately 33,000 1895s were manufactured for the Russian Empire, accounting for about 70% of total production of the rifles prior to 1936 when the M1895 was discontinued. Chambering 7.62 x 54mm Russian. These versions were unusual for the lever-action rifle in that they also had a charger guide, allowing the M1895 to be reloaded by the same charger clips used in the Mosin-Nagant bolt-action rifle. Rifles made for the Russian contract had a longer than standard barrel fitted with an extended foretop and a bayonet load. Other nations adopted the rifle in more limited numbers. The United States ordered 10,000 in caliber 30-40 Krag for the Spanish-American War, but the war ended before they arrived at the front. These rifles were marked U.S. atop the receiver ring and fitted with stock furniture similar to the 1895, including the short 8 5/16 inch knife-type bayonet. Many parts were marked TSM by Ordnance Inspector Kelly S. Morse. 100 of these rifles were issued to the 33rd Volunteer Infantry for field testing in the Philippine-American War. The report of testing completed on 25th December 1899 stated that the Krag Jorgensen was greatly superior for military service. The remaining 9,900 rifles were sold to M. Harley Company when those were shipped to Cuba in 1906. Some of these rifles found their way to Mexico, where they were used and favored by Pancho Villa's troops during the Mexican Revolution. The rifle is most commonly associated today with former President Theodore Roosevelt. However, it was also used by many other famous hunters and adventurers, to include Martin and Osa Johnson, Charles Cotter, and author Stewart Everett White. In 1985, the Browning Arms Company reintroduced the Model 1895 rifle in 30-06 Springfield. Later in 2001, Winchester reintroduced the rifle during the 100-year anniversary of Theodore Roosevelt's presidential administration, offering it again in 405 Winchester, as well as 30-06, and 30-40 Krag since its reintroduction. In 2008, Winchester produced a pair of Theodore Roosevelt's American rifles. In 2009, an additional pair of rifles was offered commemorating Roosevelt's African safari in 1909 after leaving office. Both the Browning and new Winchester variant rifles are made in Japan by Miroku. And now let's take a look at disassembly and reassembly. The Model 1895 consists of 97 parts total, and at the bottom of the screen you'll see the name of each part as it's manipulated during the demonstration. This is a beautiful model, by the way. Very well made. Very strong and dependable rifle. And also, despite the design and the stock iron sights, it could be tapped on the side of the receiver for a optical scope. So many small intricate parts. And that's it. Now for the reassembly. Such a beautiful and intricate weapon. And there it is. And now let's take a look at the operation of the 1895. Actuate the lever on the bottom, chamber a cartridge, automatically cocking the hammer back, and then you're ready to fire. Eject the empty, chamber a new round, and you're empty. Now the Russian rifles, or the Russian issued rifles, would be able to be loaded right here with a stripper clip. You insert that right down there in the top and just press the rounds into the magazine. Otherwise you'd have to manually load the rounds back into the gun. And she's ready to go. And that was the Winchester Model 1895. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, please drop a like or follow or subscribe. And I hope you're looking forward to the next episode. Thank you for watching.